What's up, guys? WhoNeedsMeta here with Cat again, doing a deck profile on 3.5 axis Fire Fist. Doing this deck before it gets inevitably slaughtered.
Yeah, guys, this is probably going to be my last deck profile of this deck, or at least in this kind of variant for quite a while, because this deck is going to have a horrible Shaddoll matchup. But you never know. We'll always keep my options open. But, I mean, getting into the deck, 3 Bear is still completely mandatory. You don't do anything without it. And Nats was nice to my Bears. So that's nice. I'm definitely still running the 1 Gorilla in this current pre-Shaddoll format. Gorilla is very good, and then during testing I found myself really needing the searchable spell and trap pop. So he's very good for what he does. And it's also fun. It's also fun if people try to ram their hands into either Bear or Gorilla. They get their effects off each time, basically. The 1 Wolfbark, I mean, those are my 4/4s, is the Bears and the Gorilla and this guy. It's consistent enough. I dropped the Dragon. I didn't really think it was consistent, and I went to locals with this exact build and went 4-1, only losing to Prophecy, and I think it went pretty well. Into the 3 part of the axis, the Spirit. I wish this would come back to at least 2. Be really nice. Your 3 Leopards still. I really wish this would have gotten a higher rarity print in Astral. But Leopard is honestly probably the second most crucial card in this entire deck, outside of Bear.
And Spirit.
Because it really just... even more so than that, because this gets you plays outside of that. But it really gets things going in a dead hand. You play 3 Roosters still. Well, I tested 3 kind of as a theory just because I needed more monsters, and it worked out. I still haven't dropped it. You can try dropping it to 2 in order to run some more traps or something, but I think at 3 it's consistent. You want to see it as much as you can. And considering how hard I lose to the hands, I opted to join the hands. And they're honestly probably the best way to actually beat the hands is just by ramming them into something else and then popping a hand. Overall proved very, very useful. I think the monster lineup is about 16 cards. The Fire Fists only make about 12 of that, so take that as you will. Spells, your 3 Tankies, obvious, 3 of Searcher. Nothing really special to say about it. Reuse it with Cardinal if you can, because you run out of these pretty quickly. I'm still only playing 2 Tensu. I even had thoughts about dropping that down to just 1, but I found myself going through it quite a bit, so 2 is fine. 1 Yugioh, searchable pseudo Night Beam, still pretty good. So it remains solid in testing, so try it out. I am still opting to main deck 2 MSTs, because not everything is an Artifact Sanctum. I really just think people should still play this card right now. Consistency issues, attempting to solve them with duality. It worked out. Going first with this deck, even though it might seem nice, you often can't get off the Horse Prince combo as much as you think you would, so duality is nice to help set up for next turn. 1 of spells, Mind Control, Book of Moon, and Soul Charge. All very useful. No man deck Dark Hole. It's just not necessary with all the monster popping you have. But I do side deck it. So we'll get to that later, though. Onto the trap lineups. It's a bunch of 1-ofs in the form of Bottomless. I mained 1 copy of this in favor of the second Blackhorn just to see how the versatility was. And it paid off a lot. Like when my opponent Bujin Carnation to Yamato and a Hare, he end phase affected, and I trap trick trap hold it, and that was satisfying. TT, Warning, Compulse, still alright, still gets around stuff that can't be destroyed. And I am main decking two wiretaps right now. This is mostly kind of an adaptation for our locals, which is either really OTK heavy or really, really trap stun heavy. So I opted to main this, and I have ways to side this out so it's not as dead game 2 and 3 if it's against something that's not useful against. But and 3 Fiendish Chain. If you want to, you could easily drop a wiretap in one of these and run 2 Breakthrough, 2 Fiendish. because 3 Fiend just gets kind of cloggy with your formations. But just keep that in mind. I still think stopping an attack from the hands is very, very valuable. That's all for the main deck. Onto the extra, I'll kind of speed through this. Alucard, good. 2 Lion Emperor, very good. You could drop one for like an equipped engineer if you wanted, or another rank 3 of your choice, but...
Only 3s? Just 3?
Those are my only 3s, is those 3, as far as the ranks go. The rest of these are just good utility rank 4s. Dweller, Cardinal, Excidon, Diamond Dyer, Heartland Draco steals games that you shouldn't be able to win. Honor Arc, Tiger King, and Ragna Zero and Kagetsuchi round out the rank 4s of the deck. They all have their niche purposes, and I could not find room to drop any of them. For your synchros, I play 1. I didn't make it at all during testing, but you really need it there as a utility. It's something other than Horse Sprints to go into. And I'm only running 2 Horse Sprints still, just because it's less focused on this. It's still a very good card, though. It's a really good first turn opening play. Side deck, which might not be relevant to some of you who are watching this, but this is kind of, again, based on my locals. 2 Light Imprisoning. I was kind of afraid of Bujin and Lightsworn Ruler, neither of which I really ran into that much, but it's still good to have in there. These will probably be Shadow Mirrors soon, if I decide to keep running this deck. MVP is probably Vanity's Emptiness as a 2 of. I mean, if you don't open the nuts and your opponent does, this kind of helps keeps things in control. I side the second Blackhorn in the event that people still try to run Yugioh. I think Yugioh actually took first place the recent locals that I did this at. So keep that in mind. It's still alive. 1 Full House, which is the nuts. I'm considering siding the second one just because of how good it is to pop dead tankies and maybe the Gyoko as long as you pop the one that you targeted with it. And last trap is Soul Drain because it doesn't really hurt you. You can work around it with your hands. Again, this deck hates hands, so I side 2 Knock as well as a D-Fissure. Again, you have hands in the deck. Be careful. Either side them out or, try not to bluff set if you know they can get around it. And I side the Dark Hole. And then last 4 cards, 2 DD Crow and 2 Maxi. DD Crow didn't really do that much, but Maxi was very useful. So
Would you main deck it?
Right now, I don't think I would. Not in this deck. It's too tight. But if you have room in your deck and you're trying to figure out if you want to run upstarts or not, I'd run Maxi instead. At the very least, it's an upstart Goblin and stops your opponent. So this is the deck as it is right now. If I end up playing it later in the format with Shadalls, you'll see it from us first. But that's it.
Thanks for watching, guys.